Hello everybody, this is John Meadows with Granite Supplements, and today we're talking about our newest intra-workout product called Keto Factor X. So I'm going to turn it over to the Sultan of Shredded himself, Dr. Scott Stevenson, to go into some detail.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate that. So many of you know that I'm very much in favor of intra-workout drinks. This is kind of a unique one because we're not including carbohydrate here. What we have in Keto Factor X is in part demand to have a ketogenic or ketone-containing intra-workout drink, and we've done that. We've also given you the highest value I think that you can probably find in terms of a BHB or beta-hydroxybutyrate salt in 4.6 grams. That's about as high as you're going to get in this form of beta-hydroxybutyrate, because to go any higher, you're going to have a really bad tasting supplement, which is not what we want. There are other ways you can bring BHBs into your diet with, for instance, keto monoesters. That's probably the best way to do it. Those are not going to go into a powdered ingredient. It's not going to happen. So what we've done here is create a intra-workout drink, and I'll talk about these other ingredients just a bit, with sort of a focus or difference being this GO-BHB form of beta-hydroxybutyrate salts. This in and of itself is not a monstrous dose of beta-hydroxybutyrate or ketones. And we know that, and we're being totally transparent about that. You're probably going to need another 15 or so of those grams of ketones to elevate your ketone bodies to where you might be if you've been fasting for a while. However, if you're someone who is doing a low carbohydrate or a ketogenic diet, and you're already in ketosis, this is a way to bolster that ketosis or ketone level that you wouldn't have if you didn't take in these sorts of things. So Keto Factor X has a ketogenic, neurogenic grouping of ingredients. We've also got, which you definitely want to have in any intra-workout, something to foster protein synthesis. Essential amino acids do a phenomenal job of that, of course. And we've also got a vasoactive pump matrix. So we want to get a nice pump going while you're training too. That's just about as good as anything, as good as sex even, I think it's been said. So the ketogenic neurogenic matrix has GO-BHB, just talked about that. And we've also got N-ACETYL-L-TYROSINE. This is just a very soluble form of L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is a precursor to epinephrine and norepinephrine, the catecholamines in the brain, as well as dopamine. So this helps keep you alert. Anyone who's added this, for instance, to something like an ECA stack or some sort of a stimulus stack will notice that this is definitely helpful. The EAA myotropic matrix, you may be thinking, okay, 9 grams of essential amino acids. Actually, there are a number of studies been done just with 6 grams of essential amino acids. We've included all of these in approximately the same ratio that you find in those studies. And those ratios come from the blend or the relative proportions of the different essential amino acids you find in skeletal muscle. So we've basically done that. And we've done it not just with 6, but with 9 grams of essential amino acids. You might add protein to that if you wanted to, just like you might add ketones in a ketone monoester form here if you like as well. Last but not least, we have a vasoactive pump matrix here. Some of these ingredients are also in our pre-workout called Arc Reactor. L-CITRULLINE is most definitely there. So we're adding 3 grams to what you already find in 6-gram dose in the Arc Reactor pre-workout. That's a hefty dose of L-CITRULLINE. This is a precursor to arginine, so this helps with vasodilation, ergo the pump. Taurine is it's a number of health benefits actually that come with taurine. We're using it here as a cell volumizer. It's a very, very important beta amino acid for cell volume, and anyone who's had cramping difficulties knows this works quite well in many cases. The Vasodrive AP in 254 milligrams. This is a really cool ingredient. I mentioned this before. This is also in our Arc Reactor. This is made from milk. They're milk-derived lactotripeptides, which are 3 amino acid peptides that have vasodilatory effects because they inhibit the angiotensin converting enzyme, which is basically the key enzyme in the conversion of angiotensinogen to what eventually becomes angiotensin II and vasopressin, which is a vasoconstrictor. So by using these lactotripeptides, we're inhibiting that hormonal conversion into vasopressin and thus allowing for vasodilation. So this is an effective dose. 2 particular lactotripeptides we have in here. And last but not least, an ingredient called CAPROS, which is an extract from Indian gooseberry, also known as amla. 250 milligrams here. This is a very strong antioxidant, but we've limited the dose to make sure we don't have too strong of an antioxidant effect. That's very, very important. Some of those know John has talked about this. I've talked about this before. If you have an extreme antioxidant intake, like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, you can prevent the normal adaptations to training. That's not what you want. So we've kept this at about what's the same antioxidant effect you might get in a few, 3 or 4 or 5 oranges, something like that. So we're not taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C worth, for instance. And this CAPROS also has anti-inflammatory as well as some vasodilatory effects as well. So this is a very healthy supplement to have in our pump matrix. So this is a very unique intra-workout because not only have we got the ketone bodies or the beta-hydroxybutyrate, we've got a myotropic matrix, which you definitely want to have an intra-workout, and we've got a pump matrix as well. So, and we're not trying to blind you to the idea that we're going to get some incredible mind-blowing dose of beta-hydroxybutyrate. However, as John noted, you can have a cognitive effect here. Some people do, some people don't. If you're someone who's sensitive to that, you may, and this is a way to bolster your ketone bodies if you're already in ketosis. We've also done this at a really, really nice price level too. Ketones are very, very expensive. The ketone monoesters are really, really expensive. That's of course your choice to do with what you like, but we've given you pretty much the highest dose that we thought could make sense in a product that also has a bunch of other benefits.
All right, thank you for that explanation, sir.
You're welcome.
So the question is, how and when do I take this? Well, it's an intra-workout product, but we've done, on the bottle we put to start consuming 15 minutes before training. We've done a lot of experimenting with it though, and you may even want to start around 30 minutes before training. It's a little variable on when you get the kind of the cognitive feel of this. So just play around with it. Play around from 15 to 30 minutes before your workout, start to consume this, and try to have it all gone about midway through your workout at the latest.